All right, so with the toilet, the first thing you do, and this is literally after you've walked in, this is the very first thing you do before you clean anything, you get the toilet duct half flush if it's got that option. You only need a little bit of water to be through the bowl, so you don't need a full flush. And then a bit of toilet duct up underneath the rim, and you want a good, nice covering all around the whole bowl. Now you leave that typically, go clean everything else in the house besides the floors, and then come back and do that so that the toilet duct's had its time to do its work. There's usually a bleach element in toilet duct. There's a Harpic ad for you, and let that bleach element do the work. So in this case, we're going to go straight into the cleaning. All right, so to clean, green microfiber, general purpose antibacterial spray. I kneel in front of the toilet because then you can get to every part of the toilet. So I'm going to do that again with the spray. Stand back, one mist like that. Don't get too close to the surface. All right. So starting at the cistern, at the top, down the sides and the front. Usually this part's just dusty. Not likely to find any urine or anything up that high. Then the back of the bowl behind the seat, like so. Then you do the lid. Now you do need to be careful. Often toilet lids and seats are wobbly, and they're not bolted on with steel bolts. They're plastic bolts usually, so you do need to be a little careful. All right, a bit of a spray on the seat and underneath the lid. The lid's usually the hardest part and around the bolts because there's very small parts to get your finger in. You can shove the microfiber in there like that. And usually, again, it's just dust on this part. Maybe a bit of splash from the urine when men use the toilet. We don't tend to aim all that well. So you will need to get your finger into the corners, nooks and crannies, get all those bits and pieces out, down the back of this bit, etc. And the seat itself. All right, lift that up. Another little spray around the bottom of the lid and the seat. All right, again, so you'll have some bits here where you've got to get your finger in there with the microfiber and get into it. Yeah, may need to, as the tag suggests, floss little bits like that. Because if you don't, you'll get a build-up of yucky stuff, and the client doesn't want a build-up of yucky stuff. All right, then underneath on the bowl here, around the bolts, again, you can literally get the microfiber, get in there like that as best you can. These bolts are really odd shape, but do what you can. Look, if you literally physically can't get into a part, you literally physically can't get into a part, but do everything you can. All right, then we do the outside of the bowl, all the S-bend if it has an S-bend, to the floor, around any nooks and crannies again. Now, especially the front of the bowl, because if there's going to be any spillage, it's going to be urine down the front of the bowl. Then the inside rim, like so. All right. So when we've used the microfiber, you obviously need to use the toilet brush. It's the last thing you do. You literally put it into the water, go around the inside of the bowl. If you've got a good toilet brush like this with this bit here, you get up underneath the rim, which is always a good idea, like so. And then you want to get right into the back corners, into the crevice, deep into the bowl itself. Obviously, if there's any literal skid marks, you scrub them off. Sometimes you'll come across discoloration, which this toilet has. If the toilet duct and the bleach of that's not enough, you can actually get the bleach again and just apply it in there and let it sit for a while. And if that's not enough, we can actually get a stronger chemical, a solvent or something, and try and get that off. But that's a last resort. It's a fairly harsh chemical, and we try not to bring too much into a home, especially that's going to do any damage to people. All right, when you've done that, you want a full flush and you want to rinse the toilet brush at the same time. And then tap it a few times on the edge of the bowl, get rid of the excess water and replace the toilet brush to the holder.